Nous sommes en 2025. La science a trouvé un moyen pour aller au-delà des limites de l'imagination. C'est un monde qui se trouve dans l'ordinateur.
Puis-je vous suggérer le billet aux usages?
Un monde où tous vos rêves...
Je peux faire tout ce que tu voudras.
Et le moindre jeu...
Tu ne peux pas gagner, Corey. Tout le monde perd dès le niveau 10.
...peuvent devenir réels.
Alors joue avec moi.
Monsieur, le vol se poursuit dans le 709e secteur.
Mobilisez l'unité de quadrillage.
Celui-là, je me le fais.
Mais ils sont allés trop loin.
Ce sont des cellules artificielles qu'on peut transformer en ce qu'on veut grâce à l'ADN.
Et la seule chose que l'on gagne à ce jeu, c'est sa vie.
C'est une vie artificielle.
Soudain, ce n'est plus un rêve.
C'est la vie.
Et ce n'est plus un jeu. La seule erreur qu'ils aient commise était d'entrer sa grille. Parce que quand ils ont franchi la ligne, ils ont brisé beaucoup plus que les règles. Et lui, il ne fait pas partie de leur programme. Maintenant, la seule chose qui les sépare de l'évasion, c'est un Grid Runner appelé Query. Et dans ce secteur, c'est lui la loi. Mais il va devoir affronter un cyber-guerrier qui n'a encore jamais été battu. Préparez-vous à vivre la première cyber-aventure en cyberespace à une cyber-vitesse. Grid Runners, avec Don the Dragon Wilson dans son plus grand rôle. Lauren Avedon, Athena Massey et Michael Bernardo, la vedette de Street Fighter. Le futur des arts martiaux ne sera plus jamais pareil maintenant. Grid Runners.
Bonjour à tous et à toutes, bienvenue dans ce 10e épisode de la Maison du cinéma d'arts martiaux. Aujourd'hui on va parler de Don the Dragon Wilson. Qui est Don the Dragon Wilson? C'est un Américain d'origine japonaise né en 1954 à Alton dans l'Illinois. Il a été champion du monde de kickboxing, notamment en full contact, dans les années 80 dans différentes organisations internationales comme la WK ou ISKA. C'est aussi un acteur de cinéma qui a joué dans plusieurs films d'arts martiaux depuis les années 80, même si la plupart de ses films sont sortis directement sur le marché de la vidéo ou du téléfilm. Nous avons pu avoir un entretien avec lui, voici son interview.
Okay, stop. Wait. Now.
Can you introduce yourself, please?
Stop. Oui. Commence d'abord en français d'abord et après tu fais en anglais. Donc, tu fais d'abord français et puis en anglais, quoi.
Don, bonjour, pourrais-tu te présenter s'il te plaît? Hi Don, can you introduce yourself, please?
Yes, I'm Don the Dragon Wilson, and I'm a black belt in Kung Fu, former world champion, kickboxer, and an actor now today, an actor.
About Kung Fu, what is your style? À propos de ton style de Kung Fu, quel est ton style?
I actually started, my very first martial arts was Goju, Japanese karate, but then I studied Pai Lung Kung Fu from my brother.
And
Non.
why do you...
En français, tout en français.
Et pourquoi as-tu commencé le kickboxing? Why did you start to fight in kickboxing?
Well, you know, the competition we had in 72 when I started was point fighting. And it felt like, for me, not very realistic training for a fighter. And when they had started full contact karate or kickboxing, it looked more real. It felt more real. And I believed I would be better able as a martial artist to defend myself if I learned how to do that. So it was just a training for me at the beginning, just for training.
Je vais le faire maintenant. Donc, maintenant, tu peux lui poser la question, par exemple, quel est, par exemple, ses meilleurs, par exemple, son plus grand titre en kickboxing?
Change. change the hand. Yes, it's easier for you.
Donc tu poses la question
Quel est tes meilleurs titres en kickboxing? What is your best for you? What is your best kickboxing title you won?
The best kickboxing fight?
Yes.
I had so many great fights against great fighters, undefeated fighters. And I think one of the ones that stand out for me was Branko Cikatic, because he was a European champion, he was undefeated, and we fought in, I think it was 1987, around then, and I was not my peak. My peak as a fighter was 1984, but I was still good enough to win the fight by knockout, and I was very happy. So it was probably Branko Cikatic.
Et maintenant, qu'est-ce qu'ils pensent par exemple aujourd'hui de l'évolution du kickboxing aujourd'hui? Est-ce que par exemple les combattants d'aujourd'hui sont-ils meilleurs que les combattants d'avant par exemple?
Donc, quel est ton point de vue à propos du kickboxing aujourd'hui? What's your point of view about the kickboxing
L'évolution.
Before, when you fought in kickboxing when your era and today? What is the difference for you? It's better or not?
Well, I think it was better, because all the top athletes in the martial arts all did kickboxing. But now when they have MMA and kickboxing, many top athletes do MMA. And they make more money. And so I can't blame them. They're making more money. If you become a UFC champion, you make more money than kickboxing champion. So the athletes have gotten diluted. When you take the top athletes, turn it into two sports, each ends up with around half the good athletes. So the kickboxing, I believe, the era I fought was called the golden era. All the best martial artists worldwide did kickboxing. And so I think I was around, luckily, in the 80s and 90s when kickboxing was the main way martial artists competed.
Bon. Et j'ai envie de dire, est-ce que par exemple Don Wilson, s'il était plus jeune aujourd'hui, est-ce qu'il aurait sa place en tout cas aujourd'hui dans...
Supposons que tu es jeune aujourd'hui et que tu combats aujourd'hui. Qui aimerais-tu affronter?
Est-ce qu'il aurait sa place?
Let's suppose to be you're young today and you fought in kickboxing today. Which fighter do you want to fight? In which organization?
I don't really keep track of the fighters of today. I don't know who the top fighters are in my weight division, 175, light heavyweight. So I don't have any, unfortunately I don't have names. I've never been a fan of any sport. I don't like watching it. I like doing it. Performing in kickboxing and competing in kickboxing was fun. But just sitting watching TV, if anything, it frustrates me, because I wish I was still able to do it and still was competing, because I enjoyed it. It was not like work, it was fun. And so I don't have specific fighters. I would still like to do a little, maybe exhibitions or something. Maybe there's something I can still do, but I was fighter of the year in '84. That was a long time ago. And that was my prime, 1984.
Par rapport au kick, est-ce que tu as encore des questions à lui poser ou pas du tout? Allez.
Par rapport à ta préparation quand tu étais plus jeune, est-ce que tu préconisais des soulevés de poids? When you prepare a fight, do you weightlifting for your training?
Yes, I use weightlifting. I did, because I believe you don't win just with strength, but it is one of the areas of athletics, especially fighting, that you can improve. You can get stronger. And sometimes that gives you a little more explosive power, having strength. It's not a bodybuilding contest, so it's not about big muscles. Kickboxing is not. You did that. I fought many bigger, muscular guys than me, but when you hit them on the chin, they go right to sleep. It doesn't matter how big the bicep is. And so I never tried to grow bigger, but I did have to do a little strength training. So I did lift weights throughout my career.
La dernière question que j'aimerais te poser, quel serait ton conseil pour les futurs kickboxers? What's your advice for the next future champion in kickboxing?
Well, I think just in general in any sport, it should not be based on money. Really, yeah, because if that was the case, I should have been a boxer, not a kickboxer, because there was more money in boxing than kickboxing. But I didn't, because I wanted to improve myself as a martial artist. And martial artists, we use our knees, elbows to defend ourselves. I'm saying we kick the body, we kick the legs. That's a lot more than boxing. In fact, I did some boxing versus kickboxing, and I knocked the boxers right out. Because if they can only punch, and I can kick and punch, it's really not fair. Because I just kick them in the legs, and then that was at the end of the boxing. So for me, kickboxing was just a way to become a better martial artist.
Okay. Maintenant, t'as fini avec le kickboxing ou t'as... Oui. Ok, maintenant on va s'attaquer sur sa carrière cinématographique. Tu peux lui poser la question, par exemple, en tout cas, est-ce qu'il regardait des films quand il était jeune, des films d'arts martiaux quand il était jeune?
Regardais-tu des films de Kung Fu quand tu étais jeune?
Celui desquels, par exemple?
Did you watch Kung Fu movie when you were young?
I was not a fan of the movies. I didn't. Yeah, and I got in the movie business because of Chuck Norris. And I have now learned to enjoy martial art action movies, because I've watched many just to improve my own movies. So, yeah, I was not, in the beginning, a big fan of martial art movies. Any Hong Kong ones. I watched Chuck Norris's because I knew him and he was going to my fights. And you know, it's one thing when you know somebody and you just support their movie. But if a stranger had a movie come out, it wasn't that big a deal to me. I did love Enter the Dragon, so I'm a big Bruce Lee fan. And, you know, I'm not saying I don't appreciate martial art movies. I just mean, I didn't get in the movie industry because I was a big fan of martial art movies. I got in because Chuck Norris said it was a great second career. And so Chuck was the one who influenced me to become an actor.
Et comment on l'a contacté pour faire des films? En fait, est-ce que c'est parce qu'il est champion qu'on l'appelle pour faire des films?
Comment as-tu été contacté pour faire des films? How can you in the back in the last how can you contact you for your first movie?
My very first movie was a Hong Kong movie, but it was shot in New York City. And the producers, I was a pretty popular fighter in Hong Kong. I had done 6 fights there. So they were shooting a movie in 1982 in New York City, and they asked me if I would be the bad guy in it. And I said, yeah, sure. But I wasn't making a move to become an actor. I was just doing it for fun. And the movie's called ABC in Chinatown? New York City Chinatown. It's called New York City Chinatown. And I had fun, made a little money, and but it wasn't a career choice. But when I retired, Chuck Norris told me I should move out to LA, get an agent, and try acting. So I did that, because I've retired 3 times, because I keep coming out. They offered me more money, I'd come out of retirement. But the first time I retired was 84, and so in 85 I moved to LA to be an actor.
Est-ce que tu peux lui poser la question, par exemple, est-ce que c'est plus difficile de faire des films ou de combattre sur le ring?
Est-ce que c'est plus difficile de faire des films ou de combattre sur un ring? For you, is it difficult to fight in the ring or make a movie?
Well, movie, it's 12 hours every day, 6 days a week for a month. So that's work. It's hard work. Making movies is hard work. But being a professional fighter was just fun for me. It's fun. Now, I know there's some danger involved and there's a lot of hard work. It's like being a mountain climber, but they do it they enjoy it. And I enjoy, there's nothing I like better than hitting the heavy bag. And I will hit it for 2 hours straight. My normal workout is I go in the gym. I don't believe in warming up. I don't warm up. I just go right into the bag, start hitting the bag, and I do it for an hour. I do it every day if I can. And then some days, though, for some reason, and I don't know why, I hit it for an hour and I don't feel tired. So I just hit it for another hour. And I literally, I'm 70 years old. And I'm the only 70-year-old in the gym. But yeah, I couldn't hit the bag for 2 hours when I was 18. But now at 70, I can. So I don't know. You know, I may have one more fight left in me, maybe.
Tu as des questions sur les films ou quoi? Oui, pas du tout. Ça va.
Doc, thank you very much for your time. It was a great seminar, and I hope to see you in Belgium maybe next
Yes.
year. You're welcome.
I hope to see everyone, all my fans in Belgium, one day soon.
Thank you, Doc. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you.
Voilà, j'espère que l'interview vous a permis de connaître ce grand champion qui fait du cinéma. Ainsi se clôture ce 10e épisode. Je voudrais remercier à Pascal Volvert et à Bernie Williams d'avoir permis de faire cette interview. Sur ce, on se voit au prochain épisode.
Ladies and gentlemen, his professional record, 71 victories, 47 coming by way of knockout, with 5 defeats. He was entered into the 2002 Guinness Book of World Records for most world kickboxing titles at 11. The legendary martial artist of stage, screen, and ring, Don the Dragon Wilson.
I consider myself an athlete, not a fighter. A fighter is a brawler. It has the connotation that an animal can fight, but it takes an athlete to make fighting an art.
There's a lot of different rules in kickboxing, which was the point I was trying to make. And if you're going to be a world champion, you cannot stay in your hometown and fight under only one set of rules. It's not like boxing where it's the same everywhere. I fought under many different associations and many different rules, and I fought the toughest opponent that they could find for me every time. And I'm fighting in Hong Kong in September under Thai kickboxing rules.
Don entered the international stage as the first Kung Fu practitioner to win a world kickboxing title. He got the nickname The Dragon from his White Dragon Kung Fu style. Over the next decade and a half, he won 11 world titles in 4 different weight divisions from 5 different sanctioning fighting bodies. My buddy, Don the Dragon Wilson.
Really needing no introduction the world over, from the Black Belt Hall of Fame to to a starring role in 24 action films. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the 5-time kickboxing world champion, introducing the one and only Don the Dragon Wilson.
I did there though. I was there for, once I stayed 2 weeks. And I trained there. And I was hired to be a sparring partner for a boxer that lived in Amsterdam, and he's a Dutch boxer.
You're welcome.
I believe he might have been always going to fight for the world title, or he was a champion. I'm not sure. I think his name was Alex Blanchard. And what ended up happening? They paid him to be a sparring partner. And I broke my nose, and then they sent me home. Yeah. Well, because I broke his nose, he's not going to get the fight. You have to cancel the fight. Because you can't breathe out of it, when the nose is broke. And I did, it was 16-ounce gloves.
Okay.
But the trainer said,
Okay.
Okay, you're smart.
I'm the manager of Don Wilson, $500.
Okay. Today you only use
your
your
left
left
hand.
hand.
Yeah.
I go, so I can't use your right. He goes, okay, today you can use your right hand, but no jabs, no nothing. Just use power right. So then, and so
like it or
he
not.
was taking advantage of me. The boxer, Alex Blanchard, he's a nice guy, but he was just pounding on me because I think he thought, well, this guy's getting paid to stay on Sparkler, so I'm going to get my money's worth, so it's okay for me to hit him hard. So then he hits me up. So then I get to it, and so 3 or 4 days go by, and then he said, today you can do whatever you want. So the bell rings. Now I've got built up. So I'm a world champion kickboxer. I'm not just a great paid boxer. so the bell, I get on, I just start throwing bombs at it. Boom, boom, boom. I hit him. Came in there, blood's everywhere, and he's bleeding. His nose is broken. He goes, well, you got to go home, bro. The fight was canceled. I never got called back to be a sparring partner for them again. But they were paying me to be a sparring partner. But I never saw that before. I was never a paid sparring partner except this one time. So, and I never know what, and they just said, only use your left hand today. Then only you can use a little right hand, but not, and then don't go to the body. And in other words, and then the other fighter, the young light heavyweight, is throwing bombs at me. He's like taking advantage of me. At least that's where I felt. So it built up, and Rob Common was coming watching me fight him.
Okay.
Inspiring him.
So he thought that was your entire game?
No. He knew what was going on.
Yeah. Okay.
He didn't tell them anything though.
Okay.
He said, Don, if Don can throw some bombs, Alex is going to be on the floor because
he would have done.
He didn't go to the floor, but I did break his nose. I hit him solid. Boom! And he just stopped like this. And they looked at him. He goes, he's got to go to the hospital. He's got to get it fixed. And that was it. They sent me home the next day. I got fired.
That was the end of it?
I got fired for busting up the champion.
Pretty good way to do it.
He was either the champion or fighting for the title. But his name, we finished. Alex Blanchard.
Yeah, we
finished.
Yeah.
Okay, see you next time. It's very fun to meet you.